Honestly, bro, we didn't lose as much. Like, now I'm thinking about it, we didn't lose as much as we thought we did. Obviously, Mike McDonald was a huge loss, but Zach Orr can be just as good, if not better than Mike McDonald was a defensive coordinator. Patrick Queen, losing him, yeah, it was a bit of a loss, but remember, he wasn't good until Roquan came along. So that's why I feel like Trent Simpson can be way better than him. OBJ wasn't really a huge loss because he didn't really, contribute like we thought he was. He kept getting double teamed and pass interference calls and shit like that. So him leaving wasn't really huge for us. Morgan Moses and John Simpson weren't really huge at all. Like he said, they really got the most penalties in the league last year for us. Let me see what else. Now we did lose Ronald Darby. That was a huge loss for us, but we gained more back in the draft with Nate Wiggins. We got TJ Tampa, Bo Braid, Arthur Mallette. We brought him back. Ardarius Washington returning from injury. This team, this defense, I feel like it's still going to be really good, bro. Same goes for the offense with us having Zay, Bateman hopefully having a breakout year. So we drafted Tez Walker, who's a great threat, bro. Dude ran a 4.3 at 6'3", bro. You know how crazy that is. And then we got the best tight end tandem in the league with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I really feel like this is the year because, hey, bro, remember the year 2000 we won the Super Bowl, and then 2012 we won the Super Bowl as well. 12 years later, 2024, maybe we win the Super Bowl again. Only time will tell, but I really hope we win it. Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got inside the AFC North, the best, worst, and reality for every team. Let's check this out.
It's no secret that the AFC North.
I'm a huge Baltimore Ravens fan for the people that don't know. Oh, and also, bro, hey, clap it up for the whole entire AFC North. The whole entire AFC North will be featured in in-season Hard Knocks, bro. The best division in the NFL. Argue with the wall. I do not care, bro.
Bengals team that was just in the Super Bowl in 20.
I said exactly what I said, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with me.
Downfall is bound to happen for one of these teams. So let's go over some of the best, worst, and realistic season results for every squad in the AFC North. For the Bengals, the best case is simple: the Mahomes killer is back. This team returns back to contender form. People forget that even though they started slow last season, they started to heat up towards the end if it wasn't for all the injuries, including the superstar quarterback Joe Burrow. His offense doesn't slow down at all, even with the loss.
I was kind of sad seeing Joe Burrow go down like that.
Plugged in seamlessly. His offense also proved that Joe Mixon wasn't needed at all, as Zach Moss and Chase Brown split the rock effectively to create a multi-dimensional offense. In this scenario, while Moss is a very capable running back, I actually have Chase Brown being a late-round gem that succeeds and truly elevates his run game for Cincinnati. The addition of Trent Brown proves levels over the signings of La'el Collins, and Ted Karras and Alex Kappa hold the fort in the interior to give Joe Burrow protection for the first time in his career. For the defense, they finally find a replacement for Jesse Bates and Geno Stone.
Bro,
and
Geno,
Bell makes his secondary even
you're
more
up now.
With second-year cornerback
UMPQ
turning into a borderline Pro Bowl. Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt still continue to be in a top linebacking core in the NFL, and Trey Hendrickson has another Pro Bowl season with over 10+ sacks. Best case for this team,
I don't think Trey Hendrickson is going to be there for much longer.
And ultimately,
he may get traded because he requested a trade.
12-5. Worst case for the Bengals, the offensive line repeats stories from the past. Orlando Brown Jr. continues to regress to the point where he's ultimately benched for rookie Marius Mims. And Trent Brown pulls a La'el Collins and can't replicate his former play. And while Joe Burrow still plays like an elite quarterback, the loss of Tyler Boyd proves to be more significant than expected, as there's no inside the number threat.
The
and the addition of Gesicki doesn't replicate Boyd's ability to break the zone. And while I still expect Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to be elite, people start to figure out this team similar to when the team started playing cover too high, like the NFL did to stop Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs. And while this defense did add some key free agents, they don't play to the talent that they have. Geno Stone proves to be a one-year wonder that happened to be in the right place and the right time with all of his interceptions last season. And talking about secondary struggles, DJ Turner can't replicate the play of Chidobe Awuzie, who they lost in the offseason to the Titans. This defense that struggled to stop the run heavily last season continues to struggle this season. And even though this offense may still be elite, the defense can't stop a fly to save their lives. Also, psychologically, this team struggles and continues to believe in the fact that there's always next season, and if they have Joe Burrow, anything is possible. Discomfort and disbelief in the locker room has a team turn to if Zach Taylor is the right coach or not. And they could end up in an endless cycle of head coaches that a lot of teams find themselves in today. And even though this team struggles, worst case, this team is too talented. I still see them sneaking in as a 7th or 6th seed in the AFC.
But like, what's the biggest downfall I think of them will be is them having to pay their star guys, bro. Like that's one thing, you know what I'm saying? It's good to have, you know what I'm saying, superstar players and shit, but when you have to all pay them all at one time because their rookie scale contracts are coming up, that's when it starts to become a problem, because we already know Burrow got paid last year. T. Higgins' contract is coming up, and Jamar Chase's is coming up. So they're not going to be able to pay both of them. One of them is going to have to go, and that's definitely gonna have to be T. Higgins, bro, because the connection that Chase and Burrow have from LSU and shit like that, T. Higgins is gonna have to be the odd man out, bro, for sure. Trey Hendrickson may even get traded
for this squad.
so it's gonna be very interesting to see
competitive squad in the AFC. Thanks
what's
to
gonna
Joe
happen
Burrow
with Cincinnati.
The addition of Trent
forward.
Brown holds down the fort at right tackle, and Orlando Brown Jr. picks up his play from the latter part of last season as a solid and reliable left tackle. While nothing special, Zach Moss and Chase Brown are able to replicate and be more efficient runners than Mixon was last season, without all the numbers. And to those who don't know, Mixon was one of the most inefficient runners last season, but his season looked so good because he scored a lot of touchdowns on primetime. T. Higgins and Jay Chizzy continue to be the top receiving duo in the league, with both of them eclipsing over 1,000 yards easily. And honestly, with the added motivation for our contract, I can see both wideouts being a Pro Bowlers, despite the loaded receiving room in the AFC. And while the Bengals don't need an elite tight end to be a moving machine, the addition of Mike Gesicki gives Burrow another threat down the middle of the field to become a safety valve. For the defense, while not being a standout, the addition of Geno Stone helps to give a center of the field threat for the secondary. DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Mike Hilton are a solid trio of corners for this team, and they don't need to do much.
Mike Hilton may be the most underrated slot corner in the league.
This defense also finally figures out the run defense woes and shows up the defense to where the point they're not an absolute liability. Realistically, this team has the potential to compete for the top spot in the AFC North, and whoever wins the AFC North will either be a 2 seed in the AFC or the number 1. I see the Bengals beating whoever they face in the wildcard round unless they gain the first round bye, and then they make it to the AFC Championship. This is the tough part, because if they face the Chiefs, and even though Burrow is known as the Chief Stopper, I don't know if they have what it takes to defeat this team due to their questionable defense. This is where I see the Bengals season ending in the AFC Championship with a 11-6 or 12-5 record to win the AFC North. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Whenever my Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson is healthy, bro, we win that division. You know what I'm saying? I stamp on that shit.
Scenario,
100%,
the Russell Wilson
bro.
experiment is a success for Pittsburgh.
Burrow cannot beat Lamar.
He thrives in this Arthur Smith offense.
Like, he only beat him one time, and that was because half of our team was injured.
Receiving threats in this
Other than that, he
offense,
can't
and
beat Lamar
top players at
Jackson.
their respective positions.
Let's keep it a buck.
Arthur Smith finally learns his lesson from not using his weapons back in Atlanta and turned Najee Harris into a Pro Bowl running back. And his O-line as well is completely revamped, with first-round draft pick Troy Fatanu and former first-round draft pick Broderick Jones making huge strides as premier tackles in this league. Their new and improved defense holds the fort and shows flashes of that 2000 Steelers defense. In the additions of Patrick Queen to Shannon Elliott, elevate this team. Best case for the Steelers is that they win the AFC North as a 2-3 overall seed in the AFC, and they win their wildcard game but get bested by one of the top teams in the AFC. In an overall successful season for this young roster, I see them winning the AFC North at an 11-6 or 12-5 record. Now for the Steelers, worst case scenario, both the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields experiment absolutely backfires for the Steelers, as neither can find their footing in this new Steelers offense.
Imagine, bro.
Continues to prove fans right that he's regressed since his rookie season, and his offensive line continues to struggle like it has the past couple of seasons, not helping the new quarterbacks at all. George Pickens and Pat Fireman don't take that expected leave of play needed for the Steelers offense to truly
Look at Pickens.
And talking about Pickens, not to be one to create headlines, but the frustrations that players had in Atlanta carry over with Arthur Smith, as he continues to not use his playmakers to the best of their ability, only frustrating Pickens, making him eventually demand a trade in the season. Realistically, one of Russell Wilson or Justin Fields gives the Steelers an option at quarterback for the future. While not flashy, the Arthur Smith-led offense continues to be an efficient offense and does enough for this offense to be above average in the league. While the numbers won't be what fans want it to be, the splits will be super efficient for this offense as everyone's getting fed and moves the ball down the field effectively. Enough to win games as well. This includes an 1,000-yard season from Pickens, and while Najee might barely eclipse the 1,000-yard mark, the Steelers still get Warren his needed touches as the unit becomes one of the top rushing units in the league thanks to an improved offensive line. For defense, Patrick Queen, while not playing at an elite level, solidifies the linebacker group that the Steelers have struggled with for the previous season.
Roquan made you great, buddy. Remember that.
Proved to still be a top pass rushing duo in the league. Realistically, this team won't win the AFC North due to the immense competition, but I can still see them stealing a game in the wildcard round in the playoffs with a 9-8 record or a 10-7 record. Now let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens, and best case scenario, Lamar Jackson finally hosts his first Lombardi Trophy as the Ravens win their third Super Bowl in franchise history. But what goes into this happening? It starts with Lamar at the helm as he continues his MVP level of play in the league, competing with Mahomes for that top quarterback pedigree. Now, people clown Lamar's passing numbers from last year and the fact that he won MVP, forgetting that he was one of the most efficient passes in the league.
For real, like
bring
niggas just be stat watch. This is one thing I hate about NFL fans sometimes is they be stat watching. Nigga, watch the games, bro. I guarantee you, half of those wins, like we would have lost those games, bro. Like half of those games we would have lost if we didn't have Lamar at the helm, bro. Let's keep it a buck, 100%.
Touchdown numbers, they were so low.
Man, come on now.
Gus Edwards took so many goal line touchdowns away with 13 of them last season.
Niggas always dick riding Mahomes and Joe Burrow and shit, and Josh Allen.
And not having Keenan Mitchell for the first half of the season, why not bring in Derrick Henry to make the ultimate read option package in Baltimore? Now back in Tennessee,
and then when Keaton Mitchell gets healthy, bro, oh my gosh, like this offense has so much potential, bro. Oh my gosh, with Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, and hey, don't forget about Justice Hill. Now, Justice Hill had his best season last year for us, and then to go along with Lamar Jackson in the backfield, oh my gosh, with Patrick Ricard too, bro, a 300-pound fullback running full steam ahead of you with Derrick Henry running behind him. Bro, it's gonna be game over, bro. Like, if we actually just run the damn ball, everything's gonna be just fine for us, bro.
Now he moves to the top rushing offense.
Like, we were a top 5 offense last year with the debut of Todd Monken. Like, us going into the season this year, with the second year behind Todd Monken, bro, this shit is gonna be elite.
Mark Andrews and Holly rounded in 2021. Now, for the other side of the field, Rashad Bateman has the breakout season every Baltimore fan has been waiting since he got drafted into the league. And these two create a dynamic.
I'm rooting for Bateman, bro.
We're not even talking about the best option on this team as Mark Andrews returns from injury and returned to top tight end form. And the offensive coordinator Todd Monken finally finds a way to incorporate the threat of 2 tight ends in this offense with Isaiah Likely getting his share of targets to create the best tight end duo since Gronk and, you know, that guy. For this defense, while this unit doesn't replicate the same dominant play they did last year due to the losses of Mike McDonald, Patrick Queen, Jadeveon Clowney, and Geno Stone, new defensive coordinator Zach Orr still has his defense flying thanks to all the talent they have on his squad. Nate Wiggins has a D-Roy level season.
Nate Wiggins.
In the second
damn, oh my gosh.
Marcus Williams has his first healthy season in Baltimore as him and all-pro safety Kyle Hamilton become the best safety duo in the league. Now, one of Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton will play at a deep point level this whole season as his defense continues to be lethal. For this pass rush, Madubuike proves that he wasn't a one-year wonder with another double-digit or close to it season. And now one of David Ojabo or Dafe Owe has to break out this season to become the elite edge threat the Ravens drafted them.
Like, I've been waiting for Owe and Ojabo to break out.
It has to be this season. If they don't, it might be time to.
And don't forget about Tavius Robinson too. He showed some flashes last year for us.
From John Harbaugh.
He can definitely be a threat.
Worst for the Ravens, similar to how the Ravens offense under Greg Roman got figured out after Lamar's MVP season 2019, history repeats itself here as defenses start to figure out how to stop this Todd Monken-led offense. Now, how does this happen? It starts where Baltimore's offense has been rooted for years with the regression of the run game. Now, while Derrick Henry is a legendary running back in this league, the rumors and talks about him being washed and getting up there in age happen, and Henry can't find his footing in this new offense. Keaton Mitchell, who's also a great running back, gets delayed in his rehab process and can't show up till way later in the season, as the Ravens greatly miss Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. Now, while Zay Flowers will continue to be a stud,
I mean, how can you miss something you never really had, bro? Like, he was only healthy his rookie year, and then after that, he was just injured for the rest of the time he was in Baltimore.
Continues his post-injury struggles.
I wish he could have stayed healthy, but how are you gonna miss something that you never really had, bro?
And Isaiah Likely fed on the field. In the past 2 seasons, it always took Mark Andrews to be injured for Isaiah Likely to get his reps. How can Todd Monken figure out how to keep both of them on the field together? In this worst case scenario, I don't have them figuring this out, and while one of them will be a star tight end, not having both on the field productive hinders this offense of its weapons and potential. What halted this Ravens team from a championship last year was their horrible O-line. If you look at basic statistics, you would question this statement, because the Ravens O-line was one of the highest ranked units in the league. Now, while the run blocking was great last season, the pass blocking was putrid last season, and the reason why this O-line ranked so well was Lamar's ability to maneuver and work the pocket and escape if needed. If you look
at exactly why I said we would have lost half of those games that we won because of not having Lamar, bro. I speak nothing but facts.
That the tackles would constantly be beat, forcing Lamar out of the pocket. And if this wasn't the case, the interior O-lineman would be beat at the moment of snap as well. And if it wasn't for that, then the play would often be called back due to holding. For example, the Ravens had 2 guys in the top 5 in offensive line penalties, with Ronnie Stanley having 12 calls against him and left guard John Simpson having 13. Morgan Moses, even though he missed time last season, wasn't far behind them as well. The only assured piece on this offensive line right now is Tyler Linderbaum.
Yep.
And with this, the offensive line continues to struggle heavily, which doesn't help the offense move at all. For the defense, the loss of Mike McDonald proves to affect Baltimore.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
Zach Orr is not capable of replicating the same schemes and in-game adjustments as defensive mastermind Mike McDonald could. And while the Ravens have been hyping out Trenton Simpson as the replacement of Patrick Queen, Simpson struggles heavily in this scenario. And even though Roquan Smith's great play is great,
Trenton Simpson has all the potential to be way better than Patrick Queen, because he was like coming out of college, he was way better than Patrick Queen. Let's keep it a buck, bro. He's way faster, way more explosive than PQ was. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely got the potential to be way better.
Now, another
especially with Roquan's help
was that they struggle with secondary depth. While the casualties,
he showed it in Week 18 against Pittsburgh,
and only had one bad game last season against the Rams where he was coming off an injury, and the rest was just him either missing time because of injury as well. However, in this scenario, Marlon Humphrey's play does drop off, and Brandon Stevens, who was elite last season, can't replicate his play from last season, and rookie corner Nate Wiggins struggles in his first season. Similar to the Bengals, even if these squads struggle, I still can't see a scenario, even in a stacked AFC, where the team misses the playoffs due to their immense talent, even if it is as a 6 or 7 seed. However, in the worst case scenario, I have the Ravens postseason struggles since the Lamar era continue to struggle, and they get bounced in the wild card in another underwhelming season where tensions start to rise about Harbaugh's future in Baltimore. Now, realistically for the Ravens, this team replicates its play from last season, and while the defense might slow down a little bit due to the losses of the aforementioned Mike McDonald, I believe the Ravens did enough to fill in the holes needed for this defense to function smoothly.
100%.
Trenton Simpson is no Patrick Queen, but learning under Roquan Smith should help his play. Now, the secondary depth was a huge problem for the Ravens last year, but drafting Nate Wiggins and TJ Tampa should help this issue. Along with 2 safeties in the draft,
don't forget about Bo Braid as well.
And the safety from Maryland, Bo Braid.
I'm glad. Hey, bro. Hey, clap it up for this guy, bro. I respect this dude a lot more because everybody has been forgetting about us signing Bo Braid, bro. So a huge respect to this nigga.
Kane and undrafted safety from Maryland, Bo Braid. They can
huge respect because I don't know how Bo Braid went undrafted.
But in this situation, I have Van Noy continuing his play from last season, along with Odafe Oweh becoming a threat across the edge, with Ojabo getting some run there, where the Ravens might not lead the leagues in sacks again, but they could still be up there. For the offense, I don't see a world where Lamar Jackson and company slow down. I don't think the loss of Odell should affect the Ravens that much, allowing Rashad Bateman to finally get more looks with him and Lamar finally being on the same page. Not to repeat what I said from the best case scenario, because I genuinely believe that the realistic scenario for this team is a Super Bowl appearance or victory. Anything short of that should be viewed as a failed season for the squad with this much talent.
Bust,
now,
man.
for the Cleveland Browns, the best case
what
scenario,
about Cleveland?
This offense finally clicks with Deshaun Watson on the helm. For the first time since he's arrived there, Deshaun Watson will
like as a Ravens fan, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. The Browns and the Steelers are like the only teams that I really fear going against. Why? Because of the defense. Like the edge rushers they have, like TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith for Pittsburgh, and then Myles Garrett for Cleveland, along with Denzel Ward, bro. Those 2 defenses are the main reason why I'd be nervous to go against Cleveland and Pittsburgh every year.
First Pro Bowl since 2020.
But we always end up splitting like games with Cleveland.
The aggressive run and play action to come
they were always getting swept by
Amari
Pittsburgh.
Cooper showed no signs of slowing down last year, and this continues as well.
Hopefully this year is different.
Finally showcasing his first round talent in this best scenario season. Elijah's more role in his offense might decrease with not as many targets, but he'll become way efficient with a higher yards per reception. His offensive line will always be great, with Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller always playing at an all-pro level, while Jack Conklin has his first healthy season in forever to help fortify his already elite offensive line. Now for this defense, they already proved to be a top unit last season thanks to a dangerous pass rush highlighted by D-Boy Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith on the edge. And on the inside, they also have
they do got Zadarius Smith,
who should continue to be interior threats. Now, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had the breakout everyone has been waiting for last season, and they gave the Browns a true Mike linebacker.
He's another one of those underrated linebackers.
Devin Bush does in his new role as the will linebacker. The secondary also played an elite level thanks to his D-line, with Denzel Ward and the breakout of Martin Emerson Jr. last season, and we should see continued play with Greg Newsome as well. In this best case scenario, the Browns win the AFC North for the first time ever, and they win their wildcard game that they host.
They've never won the AFC North?
One of the Chiefs or Texans.
Well,
damn.
Season,
I had them as an 11-6.
I don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl.
AFC North race. Now, worst case for the Browns, Deshaun Watson proves he isn't able to function in this Stefanski offense. I've always had this theory that the Stefanski offense does not need an elite quarterback to be able to operate at an elite level. In my opinion, the Stefanski scheme works off establishing the run and being able to make easy throws off play action. And it doesn't take the best quarterback to operate, as Baker, even though he is a pretty good quarterback, was able to function. And I believe Joe Flacco's insanity run last year proved this as well. I genuinely believe that Watson is too good of a quarterback, and in Houston was so used to having to make his own plays. The transition to his Cleveland offense explains the struggles he's had. With that being said, I believe this carries on over into this season as the offense remains stagnant even with Chubb's return. The addition of Jerry Jeudy doesn't contribute much to the offense, similar to his play in Denver, as the offense struggles to have any really real receiving threats. While his offense might struggle, even in the worst case scenario, I don't see a world where this defense ever aggresses or even plays at a subpar level. Like stated before, this pass rush is a top unit in the league, and the secondary is young and developing, and they already played at an elite level last season. In this worst case scenario, I see the Browns narrowly missing the playoffs, or with a 7-10 record, or just completely dropping off with a 6-11 or 5-12 record due to a loaded AFC North and just AFC in general. The AFC North is already slated to have the hardest strength of schedule, and every team in this division just gets unlucky due to this. Now, before we get on to the realistic scenario for the Browns, I just want to say it's so hard to judge their season from last year. They had a roller coaster this season, playing at a top level all season, even with Watson not playing the best. Then it seemed like it was all over after his injury, just for them to have PJ Walker and Dorian Thompson-Robinson give them nothing to look forward to. And then they signed Joe Flacco off the streets and go on a 4-game winning streak to end the season, almost winning the North and stealing the 1 seed from the Ravens. The offense has only improved since then, with the additions of Jerry Jeudy, and we'll see if adding Ken Dorsey helps him out. Realistically, I see Watson
close to schools, gang.
Holy maybe not the Pro Bowl level, but still a top half quarterback playing in the league. Like I said, the offense doesn't need Watson to be anything special, and I believe Watson needs to get acclimated to this. I believe that Deshaun Watson will come into the season with a chip on his shoulder, especially with how good Joe Flacco played last season. And this defense's play should carry on from last year. And the addition of Juan Thornhill and the continued improved play by Grant Delpit should play huge in the secondary. With this, realistically, I don't know if the Browns can make the playoffs. And if they do...
Oh, yeah, Chubb's supposed to be coming back from injury, right?
Record. Now, best case, they will get like a 10-6, or maybe they can even flat out fail with a 6-11 record. This is due to the overall tough nature of the AFC North, like I mentioned before, and just the overall tough nature of the AFC, as every team in the AFC North has the hardest strength of schedule. Now, with this, let's go over my predictions of how the AFC North will play out this season. Okay. Now, at the top, I have the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North in back-to-back seasons with a 13-4 record again. I just don't see the world with this offense. I agree. Defense just continues to not play at the level they did, especially with all the talent they have.
Because honestly, bro, we didn't lose as much. Like, now I'm thinking about it, we didn't lose as much as we thought we did. Obviously, Mike McDonald was a huge loss, but Zach Orr can be just as good, if not better than Mike McDonald was a defensive coordinator. Patrick Queen losing him, yeah, it was a bit of a loss, but remember, he wasn't good until Roquan came along. So that's why I feel like Trent Simpson can be way better than him. OBJ wasn't really a huge loss because he didn't really, contribute like we thought he was. He kept getting double teamed and pass interference calls and shit like that. So him leaving wasn't really huge for us. Morgan Moses and John Simpson weren't really huge at all. Like he said, they really got the most penalties in the league last year for us. Let me see what else. Now we did lose Ronald Darby. That was a huge loss for us, but we gained more back in the draft with Nate Wiggins. We got TJ Tampa, Bo Braid, Arthur Mallette. We brought him back. Ardarius Washington returning from injury. This defense, I feel like it's still going to be really good, bro. Same goes for the offense with us having Zay Bateman, hopefully having a breakout year. So we drafted Tez Walker, who's a great threat, bro. Dude ran a 4.3 at 6'3", bro. You know how crazy that is. And then we got the best tight end tandem in the league with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I really feel like this is the year because, bro, remember the year 2000 we won the Super Bowl, and then 2012 we won the Super Bowl as well. 12 years later, 2024, maybe we win the Super Bowl again. Only time will tell, but I really hope we win it.
I have the Bengals at a 12-5 record, and what's going to matter the most is how they split in their games this year. Those 2 games where they play each other is going to come huge for these teams on who's going to win the AFC North. Yeah. And number 3, I have the Cleveland Browns. Now, even though I said all these good things about the improvements of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm not buying into it yet until I see them officially. And the Browns still have more proven talent. And
I mean, and then he got to put the Steelers at 9-8 too.
And even though I give them the
because with Mike Tomlin at head coach, bro, they're always over 500.
Finally, at the bottom, we had the Pittsburg Steelers. This team just simply lacks the talent that the rest of the AFC North does, and just have the worst quarterback play here, which is going to come huge for AFC competition. I have the Steelers ending with a 7-10 record at.
Oh, wow. So Mike Tomlin's first season under 500, he's got them going? Hey, bro.
The bottom of the AFC North, which is still going to become a top half team in the AFC, which is crazy to think about. Now, even if you're a diehard fan or just a casual NFL fan, everyone knows that the AFC North is in store for a bloodbath this season. And with every team in the North,
just like every year,
top of the league in strength of schedule, every team's going to come out battle tested. While it's impossible to count for every metric that goes into an NFL season, it's going to be interesting to see where our takes land after the season ends. Stay tuned this season, and thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, man, what do you guys think? For all the, you know what I'm saying, AFC North fans out there, bro, what do you guys think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know what I'm saying, I hate every team in this division, I respect them at the end of the day, bro. It's football. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a bloodbath. Going to be a dogfight every single year, bro. I love watching when we play, you know what I'm saying, the Browns, Steelers, and Bengals every single year. You know what I'm saying? It's football. I love it, bro. I love the grittiness and shit. But I want to know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications to get notified whenever I drop another banger video. We're on the road to 300 subs. Help me get that for more banger NFL content like this. So without further ado, I'm out. Gang!